Claybook is a physics-based puzzler developed by Finnish indie studio Second Order, which will see you rolling, climbing, moulding and morphing through a series of adorable claymation-style obstacle courses.
And while playing as a lump of clay may not seem like the most interesting premise, turns out there's a lot of fun to be had from it. There are 5 chapters that make up the campaign, which are divided into 4 levels each. In order to progress to the next chapter, you'll have to earn stars, which you do by completing each level as fast as you can.
And you'll soon find that's easier said than done. The first few levels start out fairly basic and introduce the core mechanics, such as grinding down clay structures, reversing time to undo mistakes, and creating static clay copies of yourself to use as bumpers or blocks. I really liked the copies or stamps ability, mostly because I'm the biggest klutz out.
Don't worry, Jim, I'm pretty sure I wore out the rewind button myself. The objectives to each level are very simple, like filling a tank full of liquid or filling empty spaces with clay copies. On their own, they don't present much of a challenge, but it's when the game weaves them together that things really get interesting. Some levels will have 3 or 4 different interconnected puzzles that you'll have to work out, and that can mean a lot of trial and error to get that perfect run.
Oh, hello! Funny you should mention Trial Goose, as 2 of the founders of Second Order, Sebastian Aaltonen and Sami Saarinen, worked on the popular physics-based motocross puzzler Trials Evolution.
Well, with 2 puzzling pros like that behind it, I don't feel so bad for having to restart so many times.
One should never be afraid of the restart button in a game like this one, especially as it is possible to lock yourself out of certain solutions with miscalculations. On a particular level, one of my objectives was to fill the tanks, which I had to do by carving a hole into one of the runways so the water could flow into another below it. Instead, I maybe sort of managed to destroy a good chunk of the one I needed, totally ruining my chance to complete the objective.
It's so annoying. Personally, my biggest issue with the game is the way the clay handles. While I did like the way it picks up the colours of what it rolls over, there's a real airiness to the way it moves. Without any weight to it, I was just flying off ledges left and right. So much so that I didn't even attempt a few objectives out of frustration. Thankfully, you don't have to reach 100% completion to pass. But mistakes cost precious seconds, which can be the difference between a 2 and a 3-star score. And without enough stars, you won't be able to progress, so I found myself just quitting while I was ahead if things weren't looking so good.
It also doesn't help that the whole time you have one of gaming's creepiest looking kids eyeballing you.
They are really unsettling, but in a way we are destroying their beautiful clay world, so...
Well, technically they're the ones doing that. We're just the tools of their destruction. As you move about the environment, you can watch it mould and crumble around you, which I thought was incredibly cool. And all the levels are so colourful and full of life, like something straight out of a stop-motion film.
Indeed, Jem. According to their official website, Second Order wanted to design a unique gaming experience, stating that Claybook is powered by our in-house developed technology called Clayfield. Using this technology, we can render and simulate rich volumetric clay environments. I do love seeing developers trying new things and building games from the ground up.
Well, speaking of which, you can create your own clay courses using Claybook's decked-out level editor. It took me a while to get the hang of, but I have to say I really enjoyed getting to tap into my creative side and just muck about. Minus the actual muck, of course. You can also then share your creations online and play levels designed by others.
I wasn't much for the building aspect myself. I prefer playing on the pre-made courses, but I can appreciate it's there for the more inventive spawnlings to really dig into. Claybook also has split-screen multiplayer, where you and up to 4 friends can team up and tackle the Kingdom of Clay together.
So many clay-related puns to pick from. We should roll this up. Final thoughts, Jim?
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Claybook is a very different kind of game that fascinated me with its creativity just as much as it bugged me with its flaws. I think a world of clay is an interesting concept, but I don't feel like it was utilised to its full potential here. That being said, it does have its fun moments, and I adore the art style. I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, there is a lot to like about Claybook. It's fun, quirky, and has lots of personality. But I can see how issues with the handling and lack of any safeguards against accidental destruction can quickly breed frustration and take a lot of enjoyment out of the experience. Still, virtual clay is fun to play with. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 rubber chickens.